And we are going. What's going on with everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. And I'm a bit injured today. I don't know why. My shoulder hurts really bad. Makes me think about this Rob 49 bar. Rob 49 said he shot his shot at so many holes he fucked his shoulder up. Which I think
That's
is
a bar.
I think it's
That's
pretty.
a bar.
I mean, he must have been shooting incredibly hard. That's not how. I don't know how I got hurt. I haven't been doing anything, but regardless, I am here with somebody on the other line, and I will let him introduce himself. Who do we have here today?
Yo, it's Wiseboy Jeremy, South Side of New Jersey. I rap, make music. You know what I'm saying? I like to do a lot of other things, but as far as my documented persona on the internet, I'm a rapper. So
Hey man, how you doing today?
I'm cool, bro. I'm about to eat some breakfast. I realized I was breaking out a little bit earlier, so I instantly was like, I need to drink more water.
Mm.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on my first of like 5 bottles I'm gonna try to drink today.
Where are you at right now? Like city wise?
Jersey.
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 You eating
Yeah,
breakfast at
Burlington County.
2?
Yeah. That's not like a normal Jersey thing. I don't want to like bring Jersey with that. I'm just kind of like was in the mood for breakfast today, and we were like, all right, we're gonna eat breakfast. You know,
Do you usually eat breakfast at 2?
I usually don't eat breakfast at all.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm usually good with like maybe a coffee or something like that. But as far as like breakfast as like a meal and like a priority of the day, I really don't like wake up like I gotta eat breakfast. You know what I'm saying? It is in the back of my mind though, like I should eat something, but it's not always like, you know what I'm saying? The eggs and
Yeah.
whatnot.
You know, before we get into this, I feel like I do this every time I interview somebody, and it's a thing. People ever tell you that you look like somebody? I'm assuming
Yeah,
it
bro.
has to be the
Yeah, they
person.
do. They do.
So it's the
All
person.
the
It's
time.
the person I'm thinking of. I'm assuming
It probably is.
you
It
look like a
probably is.
skinnier version of this person. Is this probably the same person I'm talking about?
Maybe. This person isn't really like a heavy set
Not a
person,
heavy person, but you
but
just look
I'm
like a
I'm definitely
skinnier.
probably skinnier than him. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Is this person rap?
he does.
All right, so yeah, you look like the skinny version of that nigga. You do.
Yeah.
and and and
Nah,
and,
niggas tell me that all the
and
time.
I'm saying, does his name have anything to do with the article of clothing you have on right now?
Yeah, it
All right, so
does.
yeah, there
It
you
has
go.
everything to do with that. But elephant in the room, you know?
There you go. Do you see it at all? Or you're just like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Nah, bro. I like kind of sometimes like every time I talk about it with like homies, it's like a big thing, and they'll pull up like a different picture, and they're like, "Nah, bro, like look," and then I'll be like, "All right, maybe," but then like I'll see a video, bro, and I'll be like, I don't look like that nigga." And I've met him face to face too, like in the flesh, and I was like, after the interaction, I was like, "Yeah, I don't look like him at all."
I feel that. I mean, I feel like we never think that we look like the people that people say that we look like.
True.
Because I've gotten freaking the most random people. Like I
Hmm.
think I've got the one I've gotten a lot recently was Music Soul Child,
Interesting.
which is so
Now that you
random.
say it though,
I
now
look
that you say
I
it
look
though, I
nothing
can
like
kind of,
Music Soul
I can kind of see it.
Child.
Now that it's mentioned, you know.
Oh, that's super duper funny. Music Soul Child and Donald Glover. That's the one that I've probably gotten the most in the past five
Okay.
years. I would say.
Interesting.
Very very crazy, but no, yeah, you that's I was not expecting to say that, by the way. Like literally just looking at you on FaceTime, I feel like it's the
Hmm.
clearest shot that I've got of your face. I was like, Snake kind of look like Earl. So had to bring that one up. But I'm trying to remember when I first heard of your name.
Mm.
I don't remember. I've been trying to think of that for a minute. I'll probably have a definite answer in about 5 minutes. But regardless,
Okay.
whenever I heard of you, it was probably this year, or if not
Hmm.
this year, very late last year. Either one of the two.
Right.
Either
Uh huh.
way, you can rap. You're you're
Thank you, bro.
you're, you're a really good rapper. I want to quote somebody who's actually on your latest album,
Hmm.
Pink Sifu. So the
Hmm.
first time I interviewed Pink Sifu, we were talking about Fly Anakin and his relationship with Fly Anakin, and
Hmm.
his quote was the first time he heard Fly Anakin, somebody played a song by him. He didn't know who it was, and he was like, "Oh, that's Fly Anakin." He was like, "Oh, who that is?" And he was like, "Oh, that's my homie." And this
Hmm.
reaction was, "Oh, this nigga's alive." This sound like a nigga from like back in the day. I ain't think this nigga was a. I thought this nigga was dead or something.
Word.
That's how you rap. You sound like a nigga
Okay.
that's from like a not even like a different. You just like the way you rap. It does sound like a nigga that's like kind of transported in time. Just like the feel about you is
Hmm.
from did you ever hear somebody rap and it's like, oh, this thing is cosplaying a '90s rapper or whatever? It's not that.
Yeah,
It's
all the
just
time.
your feel just feels
Hmm.
like it's not a lot of niggas who actively sound like this. It's interesting, just your tone of voice, the
Word.
way you sound. It's a very unique thing where I feel like it was more prevalent once upon a time
Hmm.
than it is now. So yeah, it's a compliment, by the way.
Word. Thank you. I definitely take it as a compliment because if you get like a good feeling from like that era or that time period that you feel like my music is from, I'm always gonna take that as a compliment because I feel like I'm just kind of reliving like something that the listener loves within, you know what I'm saying, my music. So yeah,
Are
I do
you?
appreciate it though.
No, for sure. Are you born and raised in New Jersey?
I was born in New Jersey. I lived in Philadelphia for a little bit of my life when I was a child. I always went to school in New Jersey though, but I officially like moved over here in like 2017. Yeah. So before that, it was kind of like back and forth. I wasn't like planted stationary in Jersey until 2017.
No
So
connection to the South though.
I got family down there,
Okay.
but and
You rap like you're like sometimes you sound like you have a southern accent sometimes when you rap.
interested that I've never heard before, but that's
Really.
an interesting perspective.
I
Yeah.
low key thought you was a New Orleans nigga,
Really?
Louisiana nigga. Yeah, like just
I know a lot of Louisiana niggas, and they got really big, strong accents.
I don't know if it's the when I think of a lot of Louisiana niggas that I know, not all the rappers obviously, but there's a good bit that have like almost like uh, you rap with like kind of not nasally, but
Hmm.
you don't rap with a deep ass Barry White voice or anything. And a lot of
Right.
them Louisiana niggas like Wayne don't rap with a super duper deep voice. Boosie don't rap with a super duper deep voice.
Facts.
A lot of them hot like shit. BG don't have a super duper deep voice, and like you kind of have that style. So I was like seeing that you was from New Jersey. I was like, nah, this nigga got to be from 504 or something, like the way that you sound. So it kind of surprised me that you have no connection to there. You said you never got that before.
Nah, not the accent part. Like I sound like I'm from down south. I have. I've gotten like New York for sure, but
You sound like a Louisiana nigga that listened to a lot of New York rap. That's what you sound like to me, and that's an interesting thing. The fact that you're not from Jersey, and it's interesting because like New York and Jersey are how close? Like very close, right, to each
yeah,
other.
yeah, a couple hours right across the water.
And from my I've never been to New Jersey. I've been to New York one time, but from my
Hmm.
just kind of interaction, just looking at you guys kind of don't act alike.
Nah, I don't think so.
It's interesting, but you're so close by, and it's like you don't
Right.
act alike at all. Like, what is that? You think? Like, why do you think there is such a difference in culture, and you're right by each other?
I think New York specifically, like they got so much of their own stuff going on, and like apart from that, like New York in general as an entity, I feel like is very full of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of like are very specific in like how they move. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that they do, like as they should. You know, but yeah, nah. I feel like another thing is people expect Jersey to act like New York. You know what I'm saying? Or expect Jersey to act like a Philadelphia because we're so close, and because like New York is the mecca, of course, and there's so much going on in like a Philadelphia. So they kind of like put Jersey as like the little brother in between, and they're like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people from especially like northern Jersey, it's basically New York up there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the culture, influences, music, food, everything, all of that's like intertwined with North Jersey and New York. But I'm from southern New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still a couple hours away from even north. So it's like even from here in North Jersey, it's like completely different cultures. You know what I mean?
How close is Newark to New York City?
I would say probably with traffic, like 30 minutes,
So
if
it's
that.
not that far.
Nah, not at
It's
all.
interesting because like one of my biggest exposures to New Jersey niggas is I watched a lot of battle rap growing up,
Word.
and
We're great for battle rap.
none of them niggas act like New York niggas. Like Shotgun Suge doesn't remind
Mm-hmm.
me of a New York nigga whatsoever, and
Mm-hmm.
none of them niggas do. Sue Surf, like they all act like nothing like that. And
Right.
just from my I don't know, just southern stupidness, I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking y'all acting like because, for example, I'm in Jacksonville, very close to
Right.
Georgia, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely different, but very similar in a lot of respects. But it doesn't seem that way to you guys. So it's interesting that, like you said, New York kind of is like I always say it's like a bubble in its own. It's like not like
Mm-hmm.
anything else. Like they have their own kind of pretentious thing going on that
Right. You know what I'm
nobody else
saying?
has going on. So it makes sense
Like I
that you
said,
aren't
as
like
they
that.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. You want to say that, but yeah, it definitely got some like bubble going on, and same thing with Philly. Philly has its own
Yeah,
culture, and I know you said you kind of
for
grew up
sure.
in both. Like looking at like Philly, I would also think growing up like, oh, Philly has to be like New York, but it's like not at all. Like that's like
Nah.
feel like even more different from Jersey and New York. The Philly is
Mm-mm.
Philly at its own different thing. Growing up, did you have? Would you say you took more inspirations from either city, New Jersey or Philly?
I would say with Philly, it was much more going on like around me. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, like it was just a lot more to soak up, like between everyday life and just like definitely the culture out there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a corner store on every block and block parties and stuff, which isn't a thing like back in New Jersey. But all of my friends were over here. You know what I'm saying? So when I would be in Philly, I would be thinking about the cool stuff that I'm doing with my friends back home, as I called it. You know what I'm saying? Because Jersey always did feel like home to me. So a lot of my interests and influences that were like carved just with me and my friends came from New Jersey. You know what I mean? Because another thing I feel like about growing up in Jersey is because we have less influences and like infrastructure, creative infrastructure around us, we gotta kind of like dig deeper to like find what really moves us inside and then kind of just like go forward with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't walk outside and see 100, 200 people a day and we're not really able to be inspired by as much outside influences in like one of those major cities, you know? And just another point is when I was in Philly, I was super young, so I was kind of like really more in the house. I wasn't like out and about as I am now when I'm in Philly or like anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of was just like watching from the outside in when it came to like whatever was going on in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Back in the early 2000s. But yeah, I would say Jersey definitely inspired me more because this is where like my infrastructure was. I felt like
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I've always wondered how why it seems like Islam is like the most popular thing in Philly. Like every nigga in Philadelphia has like a 13-inch beard.
I don't know, bro. It is it's definitely a phenomenon for sure. I can't speak to it. I'm aware of it though, and it's mad funny that you're aware of it being so far away, like in Jacksonville. But yeah, it definitely is like very heavy over there.
It's also like there's like variations of niggas that look like Dr. Umar. There's like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like Philly has like a like Philly like Dr. Umar looked like a Philly nigga, and then there's like five
Hmm.
variations of niggas that look just like that in him, and then you also
Yeah.
have like another breed of a nigga that look like AR Ab, and it's like three different types of variations of AR Abs, and it's like they all have like a certain Philadelphia look or whatever. It's
Yeah.
very interesting out there.
It's funny. You could probably like sniff out a nigga from Philly like from a mile away. That's I feel like Philly is like their own planet. Like I know we were talking about New York just being separated and everything, but Philly in general, like down to how they act and how they move, like Philly is just like they're on their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can spot them a mile away too. You know what I mean?
I love Philly. I love Philly
Yeah,
rappers.
it's
Like
great.
Philly rappers are, I don't know. Like I was always kind of attracted to the grit. Like them niggas like have a lot of like just rawness. Like you
Mhm.
listen to like an AR rap song, like you're
Mhm.
gonna think he's like after the song is over, he's gonna be at your door and like rob you. Like he has that type
Mhm.
of like just aggressive feel to him. Like
Word.
I always laugh at this. My friend Rari got kicked out of class for reacting to a AR rap song.
Interesting.
He said that I think the bar was what do you say, pounds of exotic, nobody got it.
Mm.
OG Kush got hair like Rodman, and then
Mm.
apparently when he said that, my friend Rari said ah, and we were like taking a test and kicked him out of class because he was red to the bar. But I feel him because that's that type of rawness. I feel like you don't really get in too many places but Philly. I don't know what it is about Philly. I don't know
Mhm.
how I don't know if that's just a reflection of the community of kind of just rawness of it. But why? I don't know if you agree
Mhm.
with what I'm saying. But why do you think their music comes out so just like gritty and raw?
Um. I don't know, man. I feel like that's also something I can't speak to because like I wasn't too tapped in with like the Philly music scene and everything. And like everybody that popped off from Philly, once again, I was just kind of looking from the outside in. You know what I'm saying? So I was definitely around in Philadelphia too, like when Meek started popping off for sure. But like Beanie Siegel was kind of before my time, and then like I was 100%. I had a front seat when like Uzi started popping off, but he was on like his own different thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he didn't really fit within like the normal archetype of people who made music in Philadelphia. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really speak to it, but I see what you mean for sure. Like they definitely have that aura to them. Like when they spit, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like
they do.
yeah, they're cut from a crazy cloth over there too. Like everybody from Philly that spits, like they really spit. And I noticed again, a lot with Philly artists, like they love like rapping a cappella. Like they really want you to hear what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? I really respect that too, like that element of it.
I seen a crackhead in Philly rapping on the street, and during the
Hmm.
pandemic, oh my gosh, that nigga was crazy.
He was probably spitting too.
That nigga said, I let Dookie harden up and stab you with it. Oh my gosh,
And that's
what?
probably something only he could spit too. Like
What?
nobody else would think of something like that.
That nigga say, I'll kick. He said, I'll kick push you off the. He said, I'll kick push you off the street like Lupe Fiasco. I'm known on
Bar.
the street to souffle your asshole.
Uh,
Letting Dookie harden up and stabbing somebody with it. That's one of the most vivid bars I've ever heard in my life. Shout out to him. But then, cause like you said, you kind of split time being in Philly and being in Jersey. But with you, you don't have like a Philly sound, and I would say you also don't have a Jersey sound. Maybe I'm wrong.
no, I don't think so either.
So for somebody watching this who's never heard of you at all, how would you
Mm.
explain what your sound is?
Um, like sonically or like subject matter, like what I'm talking about.
Let's say sonically first.
Sonically, I feel like if you're into like the Sabas of the world or like the Most Defs or maybe some elements of like a Kendrick Lamar or like a Mick Jenkins, then you'll definitely like hear what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Cause like really like their ear for beats and instrumentals and how they use those instrumentals to like tell their story further. You know what I mean? I feel like those elements I definitely take from them.
Now, subject wise, you would say same thing, kind of like comparing it to those same artists.
Kinda. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I wouldn't. I'm not as like. I feel like when I hear somebody like a Kendrick, he's usually on more like conceptual timing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's usually like he'll have an idea and he'll be like, how can I make that idea bigger, and then turn that bigger idea into a project. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of more rapping from my perspective, like my life, how I see things, how I think about things, the things around me, the place that I grew up, and everything like that. So I would say relatively like all the artists that I mentioned definitely have a lot of aspects of that in their music too.
Got you. No, I feel like you have a very I don't know who I would compare you to, but like I think that you do a good job matching whatever beat you're on, because I feel like to match the energy of the production is important, because there may be like a
For
very,
sure.
let's say if it's like a hard hitting beat and somebody comes on the beat with lackluster energy, it's like,
Hmm.
you kind of killed the energy of the beat. Like the beat was
Right.
supposed to be like this, you kind of came like this, but it may be a
Hmm.
beat that's very mellow and you came rapping like
Super
just too
aggressive and
crazy.
all
It's like,
that.
whoa, we didn't need that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think you do a good job matching whatever the energy of the vibe is. I think you do a really good
Hmm.
job of that. For example,
Thank you, bro.
my favorite song on Pumpkin Seeds, which I don't want to get his name wrong. Is it Curti Pandy?
Yeah.
Curti, boy, he put his damn foot in these
Yo,
beats.
he's crazy. He's crazy. Definitely one of the craziest producers I've ever had the pleasure of meeting.
Goodness gracious, he put his foot in all of these beats. My favorite
Hmm.
beat and my favorite song in general. And then you got the horns with the.
Yeah, that's
That's
that work. That's
so
that work.
fire. That's so fire, man.
Yeah,
What?
nah, Kurt is ill. That's my brother too. Like genuine, I'm super close with Kurt. I know we kind of clicked up through the music, and then that kind of like formed our relationship together. So as we got better with the sound that we wanted to create together, we kind of like became closer in that. You know what I'm saying? So and that's kind of how I see music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To like build those relationships and help further those. And yeah, bro. Everything that you hear from Kurdy, like even his work with like a lot of other artists, like he's insane. Like wow.
Nuts. He is nuts. Have you? I brought him up earlier. Have you ever heard of Fly Anakin?
Yeah, I have for sure.
Very similar. I feel like, because we're talking about like people to compare you to. If somebody is a Fly Anakin fan, I think they'll be a fan of yours because very
For sure.
similar vibes, very similar. Like I said, this nigga don't even sound like he's from this time period, low key. Like
Hmm.
super duper unique in what you guys do. And like I said, that pedal to Av song, you went crazy on that. You went
Thank
crazy
you,
on this
dog.
entire album, and I feel like it doesn't overstay its welcome. I feel like
Hmm.
I don't know. For a minute, I've been like, I don't want to hear an album that's like 2 hours long because
For sure.
one, that's really long, and two, a lot of people can't even like hold the listener's attention for 45 minutes. You know, like they
Literally.
struggle with that. So I do like that you did not overstay the welcome. And even if it
Hmm.
was a bit longer, I think you would have been, I know you would have been able to hold my attention because once again, you know how to match the energy. And it's like,
Hmm.
this is like, I would say this is perfect for me to do homework to. I love to listen to
Interesting.
music while I do homework, but it's a certain type of
Word.
vibe I'm looking for. This is the type of vibe, and it's interesting because usually it's like I'm not listening when I'm doing that, but you're rapping and you barring up, so like I damn near might get distracted. So this might not be homework music because I might be typing and be like, "Man, what did nigga just say? What around that back?" I can't be doing that, you know. So
Hmm.
I love the energy on this album. I think you did a really good job, really good
Thank you,
job,
dog.
man.
Really.
Do you how do I put this? When making this, did you like feel anything special about this? Was this like, oh, this is
Yeah.
another project that I'm making, or did the energy feel different?
Nah, like when I when I first had the idea to make the project, like I wasn't even trying to like make a project really. I had just dropped my last joint, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like doing shows and like making music in between, but I was like I'm not really focused on making a project. Then when I met Curdy, I was actually at one of the shows and I met a couple other people there, like just homies that I knew on the internet and everything. And my dog had reached out to me after the show and he was like, "Yo, I got some beats for you." And I saw Curdy's name on some of the beats and like I knew who Curdy was from previous work with homies and everything. And then I sent him back a joint like the next morning, and then he was like, "Yo, like this is crazy. I got a pack from Curdy that I want to send you to." And this dude, my homie John, he just sends me a whole pack of Curdy beats. And I think my boy Kurt was like sick that day or something, so he couldn't come out to the show in person to give me the pack. But I think that was his idea. So I rapped on a couple of the Curdy joints, and like I said, I just dropped a project, so I was like, all right. I told Curdy, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just drop an EP, and he was just like, no, we should hold it and like make an album. And then by the time we started like making more songs and everything, and really had the focus that we wanted to make a joint project, that's when I knew that this was gonna be like something super special. You know what I'm saying? Because of course it just started out as like, all right, we're just gonna make an album together, but I didn't know that that album would be this. You know what I mean?
Super duper cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the features on here are really crazy to me. Like, I don't know if once again maybe saying this person's name wrong. Is it Wakai?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where's Wakai
Mm-hmm.
from?
He's from down south. He's one of the Louisiana people I know with a really, really thick down south accent.
That was
You
another
know what
reason
I'm
why I thought you was because I was like, this. I was like, nah, this nigga Wakai for sure from there. I was like, so this nigga gotta be. So that even confirmed it more. I was like, this nigga gotta be from Louisiana. But that
saying? Yeah,
nigga's hard. I've never heard of Wakai before.
he's crazy.
He
Hmm.
was spazzing on passing dimes. I have not want to go check out his other stuff, but when I'm done with this interview, because like usually when I'm doing interviews, I kind of like just only listen to that person. But I was like, okay, when I'm done with Wiseboy Jeremy, I need to go check out Wakai. This nigga wilding on this song, so
Hmm.
he's hard. He's really
Yeah.
really hard. How do you know him?
Um, we met. My fault. I'm chewing chocolate right
No,
now.
you're good.
Bro, it's definitely because it's Halloween, but like I've relapsed on my Hershey addiction,
Yeah,
and
I
I've been
mean,
eating like bars these days.
you were chewing the hell out that chocolate just now.
But what was I saying? Yeah, it was what a couple years ago, like 2021. I think I found out about him from this person that he was working with that made beats on YouTube. I think the YouTube person was talking. He was just like, "Yeah, like my future plans. I got this coming out, this coming out, that coming out. I also got a project with Makai." So I'm like, "This YouTube producer, he about to make a whole project with this cat. Like, who is he?" And then I looked on Instagram, and I just love what he had going on. Like, I love this movement and everything. I love the music. So I reached out to him. I was like, "Yo, I got a joint that I want you on." Sent the joint back in like 45 minutes. That was the quickest I ever got a verse back, bro. Like 45 minutes. He DM'd it to me that day. I was like, okay, cool. And then I think it was his first, maybe second time coming up to New York. It might have been his first, if I'm correct. And then he was just like, "Yo, I'm about to be up in New York. Let's shoot the video." We did that. Locked in the studio. I met his managers and his people out there, and vice versa. And then like ever since then, I think he came back to New York a couple months after that, and then we just, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where the bond started at, you
Mm.
know.
Another feature on here that like, man, this is hard. Uh, is Nate J an artist or is this somebody you got to sing on a song?
That's the homie. She's not an artist, so yeah, I did just get her to sing on the song, and I be telling her sometimes because we've definitely talked about this before. Because she's like, I don't really want to do music. I kind of just see it as something that I can do, and I'm like, okay, I gotta respect that. But she doesn't really want to take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? But she be making like entire separate songs and everything. So
You see, I knew that she was not somebody that regularly made music. I was like, this is like your. Do you know about what is her name? Pebbles the Invisible Girl. Do you know about that?
no, I never heard.
That's somebody that was featured on MF Doom songs, and
Hmm.
I think primarily is on Operation Doomsday the song, and
Okay.
he got her to re-sing a Sade song. This I knew you were the one for me. I swear
Oh,
the
so that
whole
wasn't okay.
world. That's not because Sade was definitely not going to clear that. She was definitely going to sue the fuck out of MF Doom.
Word.
So he got her to do that, and that's just a girl that he knew in the hood. Like she is not a real artist or anything. That's just somebody he got, which hits her name being Pebbles the Invisible Girl because she really wasn't like a
Word.
real person. So I was like, is an
Interesting.
AJ your is that your Pebbles the Invisible Girl? Like not a actual regularly recording studio artist, but just somebody that's like super talented.
Kinda, I definitely would say it's also pronounced Nage. I think Apple Music like separated the J for some reason.
Got
We've
you.
been trying to get it fixed, but yeah, it's Nage. But yeah, I would say that the whole Pebbles analogy, it does make a lot of sense because we definitely been cooking, and like there are certain like beats that I'm just like, yo, like I need to just send this to her, and then she'll probably just send me like a voice memo back like an hour or two later, and I'll be like, yo, this is perfect. Like that's how it happened before the outro with songs that I never ended up releasing, and then with the outro, like that was the last step that I needed. Like once she sent back the hook, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like that's all I needed.
I knew this because I went to her Instagram and I was like, this is just a regular girl. Like this is not a it's not an artist at all. She's not pushing anything. It's a girl you
Mm-hmm.
see on Instagram just being a girl. Like, that's really
We're just
about it.
chilling.
So
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
so
Living life and all that.
exactly. So I was like, I don't think this girl is like an artist for real. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
cool, and there's no reason for her to be watching this. But if she is, you need to make music, like, cause you're
Yeah,
really
you do.
talented.
I'm gonna show her this clip though. I'm gonna show her this clip and
You
be
should.
like, my boy Eric told you that you should. You should lock in.
You should. Nage, you know what I'm saying? So Anna said your name
Mm-hmm.
right too. So yeah, she's super duper fire because I don't know. I feel like I like the idea of rappers using singers on their
Mm-hmm.
projects because a lot of times when you listen to like rap songs in the 90s, a lot of them niggas got professional singers to sing the hook, which is why the
Always.
songs were really, really good. Now you
Mm-hmm.
have niggas who, uh, quite frankly, can't sing and suck and try to do the hook themselves with autotune.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you probably should have got Nate to do that hook, brother. Because it
Literally.
ain't really cutting when you do it. So I appreciate you for getting, I guess, not a professional, but soon to be professional singer
Mm-hmm.
on the hook because, man, she did really good, like, on that song.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Are you a person that you notice that you said that they always got the singers to do that? So you say that you're like a student of the game?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Especially like when I was in high school, like I didn't really I rarely cared about like curriculum, bro. Like I really just wanted to study like music and like more so the music that came before me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would be interested in. Like I would be on Spotify and then like the recommended and everything. Like I would just go through like old school songs and I get one song from this era. I keep getting songs from that era and then I keep kind of just going in the catalogs of these different people. And that's how I got like more familiar with the catalogs of a lot of rappers and stuff that came before me.
It's interesting because you're what? You're 22?
Yeah.
22. I feel like, it's very popular for like young people specifically in rap to just like not care about the history of what came before them. I feel like the two
Right.
prevalent aspects of life where it's like okay to just like disrespect people that came before you is rap
Hmm.
and NBA. Those are like the
Yeah.
two aspects where it's like, man, this nigga Michael Jordan was ass. Man, this nigga Biggie fat, man. Or, like, God, no, what that nigga do to you? So it's I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure you've came across that being
Mm-hmm.
22 seeing somebody that was like around your age being like, I ain't trying to hear that
100%.
old, you know what I'm saying? Why do
Mm-hmm.
you think you have a different perspective?
Well, I feel like if you really want to like, if you really care about something and you really want to contribute to it in an important way, I feel like it's imperative that you just do the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like figure out what it was that came before you, even like on a technical sense, like a nerd sense, just trying to like figure it out and navigate. Like, all right, what did this person do when they was 22?
You know?
What did this person put their debut album out? How did this person's debut album do? You know what I'm saying? How long was their debut album? How long was it until they released their sophomore album from their debut album? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of features was this person pulling? What label were they signed to? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I feel like even seeing how the game has changed,
Yeah.
like from back in them times or when hip hop first started to like even now, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, okay, this happened before, this happened 10 years after, this happened 10 years after that. I wonder what will happen 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how I can contribute to that. You know what I'm saying?
Are you like one thing I feel like that was like a big thing once upon a time and not really is now freestyling.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a good freestyler?
I think so.
I literally just I had to find a way to connect that just to ask you to make a bar
Where
about the election right now.
make a bar about our election. Listen, I said, right now it's November 5th. You better go vote. This ain't promo. I'm looking at the game like a GoPro, and I see a lot of bullshit that's going on. I swear to God, it's about to be prolonged, man. You know the song that I'm singing, man. It's about the election, the next president. We don't know them. My man Eric got me freestyling. I'm on the pole just like I told him. Listen, my arm is intact. It's not broken. But if I see a nigga not voting, I might choke him and be like, nigga, you better exercise your right, cause you might not see the next day tonight, nigga. You gotta fight the plight, nigga. Yeah, Wiseboy Jeremy. Niggas gotta pay for that though.
Hey,
Niggas gotta pay for
fire,
that. That was free. That
fire.
was free because you my man's.
I
But like,
appreciate that. Hey, if it make you feel better, I would go do this. I'll throw a little bar for you myself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, what's up?
I don't even know what I'm finna say. Shit, man. Shit, man. Niggas know me and Jeremy. Nigga, whatever we say. I had my homeboy selling. I had my nigga,
Exactly.
whatever
You
go,
know,
nigga, whatever we say. We was
uh,
traveling in that car from CA to VA. My
mm,
dog was selling Zans. Man, he served more bars than Kamala as the DA, nigga.
mm. Yeah, bro. Like this is literally what me and the homies would do. Like off of like anything
Yeah.
and just like be in the car chilling, going through like mad beats. So
No, I've been very big in the I've been in a very big like freestyle bag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
word.
hit a nigga with the, you know what I'm saying? Say something crazy. Can't even believe I said that. If a nigga don't vote like wise boy hair, you gonna dread that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Are you a person that says locks instead of dreads?
nah, not at all. I get it, I respect it, but nah. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a Jamaican pop, so it was always dreads or dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? But I said I respect it if somebody's like, oh, I love your locks. But
Interesting. So like, you know, when I think about dreads, I think about Jamaica. Is the
mm,
whole like, is that some American stuff? The whole like, don't call it dreads. I would assume that was some Jamaican stuff.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm gonna actually assume that it's American, because Americans do tend to be a little more sensitive, and it is rooted in a very sensitive
Right.
claim, like, oh, they're not dreadful. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'm not for certain sure.
So, dad's from Jamaica.
Yeah, he was born there.
So, uh, son of an immigrant or immigrant parent.
Hmm.
Both or just one.
Just one.
So one immigrant parent, and I know a lot of Jamaicans. I know a lot of Africans, and
Hmm.
you should be able to answer this for me. It's so interesting to me because, like, growing up as a Black American,
Hmm.
Africans, specifically Africans, Jamaicans may be a little different, but Africans are completely different culture wise from like Black Americans. It's like outside of
Hmm.
like our skin tone, a lot of times Africans see the way of life completely different how Black American would, and Jamaican
Word.
people as well. So like growing up, did you ever
Hmm.
have like a conflict of kind of culture, like having like your Jamaican roots just thinking one certain way, but then being around like Black Americans and thinking another way? Like, how was there ever like a culture clash and trying to figure out who you were?
Nah, not really. I thought it was just like it was just lore. You know what I mean? Like I just had like an extra. Um, I don't know how to explain it. Like I just knew that like there was an extra like branch of lineage that I could go through because of my pops and everything like that. And I obviously knew that like we're in America, so a lot of these people they're probably not. Um, they probably didn't grow up like my pops did or my pops family did or anything like that, or just like even his struggles that he's communicated to me. Like a lot of American kids or their parents probably wouldn't know them struggles. You know what I'm saying? Completely separate and of course justified struggles, but just not those ones. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was also interesting because it's just like having family in like a whole nother country, you know what I mean? So just like studying that and then just like finding a whole nother culture and like finding like how they do things, you know what I'm saying? How they go about things. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's so interesting because like I said, I have like Jamaican and African friends, and like I'll tell them
Mm-hmm.
about something, and for one thing I know, like I said, my cameraman's Jamaican. He's like this, so I'm not going to let him represent all
Right.
Jamaican people, but I will let my African friends represent all African people because I swear, like African people and my Jamaican cameraman, um, I feel like they're even more about money than a Black American. Like, I'll tell
Yeah,
them
for
about
sure.
something, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I couldn't do that, man." They'd be like, "But you didn't take that money? Like, you are tripping." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So we just look at things differently. So it's super duper interesting to see, like I said, how we're both black, but we can value and look at things completely different. Because, like you
Yeah.
said, the struggle in Jamaica is not the struggle in America. Two different struggles. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Two different governments, two different everything. You feel me? So, super duper
100%.
interesting. But would you say you relate more to Black American culture since
For
you grew
sure.
up in it?
Yeah, for sure. Because I was born here, you know what I'm saying? And this is my experience in the very least. Like I said, the Jamaican side of my family, like that's still something that I had to venture into to study, you know what I'm saying? But like this was my life growing up as a black American, you know?
One of my favorite things about Jamaican culture, probably my favorite, second to the music. I mean, second to the food is the music. I love
Okay,
Jamaican's
word.
music. Jamaican music is like super duper powerful. I feel like, you know what I'm saying.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
rather if it's just
Hmm.
like it has the power to make you like think deep on some spirituality type stuff if you listen to like
Literally.
reggae, or it has the power to make a grown man do like a backflip off speakers and like land into like a humping position to like hump the
Hmm.
ground in a dance hall
Hmm.
club. Like,
Right.
both if your music can make you do two of those things, it can make you think about God and humping and within the next song in the playlist. I
Hmm.
mean, that's beautiful stuff. I
That's
love
art.
Jamaican music, rather if it's reggae, dance hall. Love it. Did you grow up on that?
For
I'm
sure.
assuming.
Yeah, bro. Heavily, dog. Like all of it, whether it's dance hall and then the more like emotional stuff, anything, bro. Like who was being played when I was younger? It was a lot of Jacure, I Octane, Vibes Cartel, of course, Movado, Barrington Levy, of course Bob Marley and the Wailers all the time. Am I missing anybody? I Commode, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Mighty Diamonds. Yeah, I could go on for days, but like, yeah, it was that's all that we played. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parents weren't really into hip hop too crazy,
Yeah.
but when they did play hip hop, I will argue that it was always like the best of the best at the time. You know what I'm saying? So like, when I did hear hip hop stuff, it was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom is playing Three Stacks, Kanye West, 50 Cent. My pops is playing Nas, Biggie, J. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, it was just pretty much all reggae.
When would you say you started to venture off to find your own music that you like?
Probably middle school. Like when I really like got a solid, not solid group of friends, but like when me and my friends were like more coming of age, finding what we like and everything. Like that's when I kind of like was getting into music, finding the artists that you know what I'm saying, like I preferred and all that.
I feel like middle school. I feel like it's the answer for everybody, or most people I talk to. It's like always
Hmm.
middle school because like middle school for me that was, I was definitely super into it in elementary school. But middle school I just
Hmm.
got even deeper into it because I feel like when I was in middle school, it was so much good music coming out around that time. Like middle school for me is like Odd Future. So like Odd Future was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got Tyler, you got Frank, you got maybe you. I don't know. Maybe you are like a shapeshifter and you're Earl, but who knows? But either way, it's like
Low key.
you got niggas like that. But it was just so much. It was Action Bronson coming out. You had Danny Brown coming
Hmm.
out. You had all of these just like exciting rappers, and then on top of that, I'm still from the South, so like, nigga, I'm going crazy on Future around that time. Like, Future is like
Mm-hmm.
everything to me, or like, I was like right before like Boosie got locked up, and like down here, it's so interesting because okay, so I would ask you this: growing up,
Mm-hmm.
even though you're wait 22, right? 22.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you still know about this. Were people playing Boosie at all in New Jersey when you, from your memory?
Uh, Low key, yeah. When he was going crazy with like Webby back in the day,
Yeah.
like we would hear him. It wouldn't be all people was playing, but like obviously like radio and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting
So
because me and my homeboy always talk about this because I always say like, bro, I don't know if niggas up north was listening to that at all. And he was like, bro, I'm telling you. And I was like, I don't think New York niggas was. And he kind of said what you said. He was like, bro, New York is like, I don't even count. It's like their own bubble. It's like
yeah,
just because they weren't doing it, don't mean that niggas in Philadelphia weren't listening to Boosie or whatever. So yeah, like down here,
mm-hmm.
like that was super duper fun. So I don't know. I feel like finding a love for music at an early age is super important to appreciate it at a later age because I feel like it's like a foundation almost that's kind of like
Yeah.
built and you go from there. And shout out to your parents for putting you on some really good music because I feel like
OD.
they birthed a really great artist.
Thank you,
They
bro.
birthed a
I'm
really
sure
great
they really
artist.
appreciate that too.
No, 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 for sure. I don't want to I don't want to keep you for too long.
Word.
But if there's anything you have to say to the people out there watching, the floor is yours.
Man, I don't know when this interview will come out,
In a
but
in
my
a
album is
in a few
out.
minutes maybe. I'm gonna drop it as soon as we're done.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna say too much the next thing,
Damn, I
but
shouldn't have said nothing.
but my album is out right now, man. Pumpkin seeds, everywhere. If this interview does come out in a couple minutes, or even like tomorrow, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff this week specifically. Next week, I got a big show coming up in New York on December 6th. So if you're in New York, pull up to that. Um, and yeah, that's about it. There's a lot of stuff on the way. I'm like itching to say it, bro. But like now that I know this joint is about to drop, like I can't. I just gotta keep it cool.
Is
But
it is it like video related, concert music to like what is it related to? If you can give us a hint with that.
well, Loki, I'm dropping a trailer for my video today. I'm dropping a video to the outro tomorrow. So if y'all watching this on Tuesday, November 5th, and you voted already, um, yeah, the video comes out on the 6th. So you should definitely tune in and watch that if you're watching this right now. But other than that, like I got another like bigger announcement that's coming like after the video and everything, and I don't really want to give that away just yet. I just want people to see it and be like, okay, so yeah.
All right, well, shit, I can't wait. I'm curious of what it is. I don't even want to know. So even if we end this, I don't even want to. I want to be surprised, just like the people watching. You know what I'm saying? So,
Word.
it's been fun discovering who you were and learning more about you during this interview. I can't wait to see what happens next. You know, what I'm saying? This nigga finna drop an album with fucking Andre 3000 or something, like something
Soon,
crazy.
bro. Soon. I just gotta, you know what I'm saying? If I could tap in with his management or whoever, I will. I will do what I can.
Well, I'll leave you with this question: what
Mm-hmm.
are there people out there that you really have like on your bucket list that you want to work with? That
Bro,
before it's
Cleo
all said
Soul
and
is number
done.
one. You heard me?
No, I didn't. I didn't. My fault.
Cleo Soul is number one.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
A man that wants a professional singer on his song. Goes back to that. Goes
Listen,
back
bro.
to that.
We just explained like the blueprints and everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's probably number one. If not her, well, she is number one. But close second would probably be like a Yasin Bey. Most def for sure. Um, third, Pharrell. Yeah, that's my top three, and I'm very impressed with myself that I said that so fast. Because usually I get a question like that, and I'll just like choke up on the spot and have no idea who I've ever been inspired by. But yeah, those would be my top three at this point in my life. So,
Okay, you really rock with Cleo Soul for her to be number one.
oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
she's amazing. She's amazing.
Have you ever contacted her people or anything or?
I have not, but that's something that I'm looking to. I want to like try to get in contact with her, maybe like an album or two after this one, when I'm a little more established, when I feel like I have more of a means to
Yeah.
offer and everything. I definitely will. So 2025, 2026.
Hey, if I interview her before then, I'll throw a third name out there if you want me to. You know what I'm saying?
My dog,
I'll
I would be indebted to you forever for that, bro.
let her know there's a Wiseboy from New Jersey and Philly that really wants to collab with you. So I'll because that's somebody who I want to interview. So if I
For
do
sure.
get that interview anytime soon, you will see a clip. I will send you a clip of me bringing your name up. So
Word.
We'll go from there.
Hard,
So,
bro.
for everybody watching, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters are gonna hate, players are gonna play, and you guys holler at your boy.